All right, let's dive into a real cosmic whodunit. Today, we are on the hunt for clues in a bizarre case, the case of a disappearing star hidden deep inside one of the oldest cities in the universe.
It sounds like something straight out of science fiction, right? But believe it or not, this question is at the very heart of our mystery. We're about to investigate a genuine case of cosmic cannibalism. And the clues? Well, they are truly mind-bending.
So, every good investigation needs a crime scene. Ours is a place called a globular cluster, basically a dense, ancient metropolis of stars.
Okay, so picture this, a city jam-packed with millions of ancient stars. That's M92. Now, for years, astronomers figured a place this old and crowded should be teeming with pulsars. You know, these super dense, spinning stellar corpses that send out radio waves like a perfect cosmic clock. But for the longest time, there was nothing. Just silence. For years, that silence was a real puzzle, and on the right, you can see why. This is the view from the very powerful Green Bank telescope, and yeah, you can see the signal is just lost in all that noise. But then, a new detective showed up on the scene, the enormous, fast telescope, and on the left, you can see it heard a heartbeat, loud and clear. This was a total game changer, the key to finally cracking this case wide open.
Okay, so we've got a signal. Now what? Well, it's time to build a profile of our mysterious object. Let's get to know the star of our show.
Its official name is PSR J1717+4308A, which is a bit of a mouthful, so we're just going to call it M92A. And let me tell you, finding this thing was a huge deal. Discovering the very first pulsar in an ancient cluster like this, it's like finding a brand new Rosetta Stone for understanding the history of our galaxy.
So what makes this particular pulsar so special? Well, it really comes down to this one number, 316.5 hertz. That's how fast it's spinning. But what does a number like that even mean when we're talking about a star?
It means this thing, an object that's more massive than our own sun but has been crushed down to the size of a city, is spinning on its axis more than 300 times every single second. It's a speed that's almost impossible to wrap your head around. But this incredible pulsar, it's not alone.
That's right, M92A has a partner, and their relationship is, let's just say it's destructive.
M92A is part of a terrifying group of objects that astronomers call redback pulsars. And yeah, they're named after exactly what you think, the redback spider, where the female sometimes, well, consumes the male. In space, the pulsar is the predator, and it's using its intense gravity and radiation to literally peel its companion star apart, layer by layer.
And this is the absolute crucial point. M92A is actively devouring its partner. The gas that it rips away from the companion star actually fuels its own insane spin speed. It's like a cosmic vampire that gets stronger with every single bite.
And just get a load of these relationship stats. They orbit each other every 4.8 hours. I mean, our workday is longer than their entire year. That is an incredibly tight and fast dance of death. And look at the poor companion star. It's tiny, less than a fifth the mass of our sun, and it's just getting whipped around in an almost perfect circle by this dense, hungry pulsar.
So this toxic relationship leads us to the absolute strangest part of our story, and the whole reason for the title, this pulsar's bizarre habit of just vanishing.
For a lot of its orbit, everything seems totally normal. Astronomers are getting a nice, clear, steady pulse. Tick-tock, tick-tock, a perfectly reliable cosmic clock.
And then, this. For about 5,000 seconds, that's more than an hour, the signal completely flatlines. It just vanishes. Now the pulsar is still there, it's still spinning like crazy. But from our vantage point here on Earth, it's totally invisible. A ghost in the machine. What in the world could be blocking it? And it's not just one simple disappearing act. Oh no, that would be too easy. There's the main event, this long, predictable blackout that covers a whopping 40% of its orbit. But then there are also these other weird, unpredictable mini eclipses that just pop up for 10 or 15 minutes at a time. It's a very messy crime scene.
So here it is, the solution to the mystery. The culprit isn't some solid object like a planet. It's actually the victim, kind of fighting back. All that material being torn off the companion star forms this huge, clumpy cloud of gas, a stellar wind, that engulfs the whole system. And as the pulsar orbits, it passes behind this thick shroud, and its radio signal gets completely smothered. And if you need a smoking gun, well, here it is. This graph might look a little technical, but the idea is actually pretty simple. See that flat line in the middle? Think of that as a perfectly timed clock. Any deviation from that line means the pulsar signal showed up either early or late. And look at those huge spikes right before and after it disappears. That's the signal getting massively delayed and warped as it passes through the edges of that gas cloud. It's the final piece of evidence we need. Case closed.
So we've got a cannibal star that plays hide-and-seek behind a cloud made of its own victim. It's a fantastic story for sure, but what does it all mean for science? Why does it matter? Well, this one system tells us so much. First, it's a huge showcase for the incredible power of new tools like the FAST telescope. Second, it's a perfect natural laboratory for us to study how these absolutely bizarre redback systems form and evolve. And finally, remember, M92 is ancient. Its stars don't have a lot of heavy elements, so this pulsar gives us a rare window into how stars lived, died, and tore each other apart in the early universe.
You know, cracking the case of M92A solved one mystery, but it really just blew the doors wide open to countless more questions. It makes you wonder, if one single ancient city of stars that we thought was quiet can hide a cannibalistic, disappearing wonder like this, what other strange secrets are still out there, just waiting for a new detective to arrive on the scene?